Good evening, everybody. My name is Temidayo Obasoyen, and I'll be taking you today on the M365 fundamentals. So basically, I tried to make this as short as possible because on my post, if you could, for those on LinkedIn, you see I talked about that we're going to be having more of interactive section because I really want us to ask a lot of questions. I really want people to tell me why should I use M365? What is M365 all about? Is it a package on its own? Is it a job? Um, is it a jobs? Is it an area of specialization on its own? Is it something like me being a cloud engineer? Is it something like me being um, a a furniture maker? Is it something like me being a welder or whatever? So is it? It does it have to do with a thing that is having a specialization, or it's part of cloud technology, or it's under cloud computing? What exactly is M365? So I need questions today, and that's the reason I'm going to be making this as short as possible, so we can have a lot of questions and answer section. So you can move to the next slide. So on this, can you move to the next slide, please? Okay, on this slide, it says Temidayo Obasoyen. Okay, this is all about me. Um, I am I'm the CEO and the founder of Dynamics Consult. So Dynamics Consult is actually a tech firm, a tech consulting firm that was put up together 2018. Before 2018, I've been doing solo work. I do more of web development, graphics design, UX development. So that's my major. That was my frontier before I got into cloud. I got into cloud 2020, 2020. Yes, that's 4 years ago. So, and I fell in love with cloud computing and saw myself with one of the tools, which is Azure and Microsoft 365 as a package. So from there, I built in my cloud engineering skills and stuffs. So, but I've been a techie for 12 years now. I've been a techie for 12 years. So, and yeah, currently a cloud senior cloud specialist. So, regarding the M365, it's something I fell in love 2020, like I said, during the COVID, when I was having a whole lot of issues communicating and reaching out and collaborating with my teams and guys that I've been working with. At that point, I was based in UAE, Dubai. So collaboration and working was really, really, really not easy. It was difficult. So, and I never knew there was something like 365 already going on. So until a friend introduced it to me and told me, "Hey, guy, won't you want to go into this part? I see you already in this stuff, and I think you'll do well on this." And that was when I fell in love with Microsoft 365 and with the help of Tech Expert, in which I would always want to give a shout out to every day. Tech Expert has been a major plus to me. So guys that are on Tech, that are in Tech Expert, you know that you get to learn a lot from Tech Expert. Yeah, so shout out to Tech Expert. So the next slide, please. So fundamentals of Microsoft 365. Fundamentals of Microsoft 365. So what is Microsoft 365? As I stated here, it's a suite of cloud-based productivity and collaboration tools. And like I talked about what I just mentioned earlier, when I said I was looking for a way to collaborate, to work with my teams, to work with guys that have been on the same project, and some that would love to delegate information or delegate duties to. And Microsoft 365 came in handy. So now Microsoft 365, it is a cloud-based productivity and collaboration tool, meaning it is part of the cloud computing. It's a part of cloud computing as a specialization. So for guys that have been asking the questions of what is Microsoft 365, why is it important in this day? What is it all about? Is it not the same thing as Microsoft Office? You having a Microsoft Office and you're doing your Word, your PowerPoint, your Excel, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Office Suite is under Microsoft 365, meaning your Office Suite is also a package under the Microsoft 365, which is the bigger package. So with Microsoft 365, you have more than just the Office Suite. By Office Suite, I mean more than just your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and other different office suites that you know of. So it you have more than your notes and your notepad or whatever you think you've been enjoying on the office suite. For that of M365, it is a total package that gives you collaboration functions, and by collaboration functions, I'm talking about things that has to do with your Outlook, your SharePoint, your OneDrive, and the exchange functionalities, both on cloud and both on the desktop. So um, Microsoft 365 has made it so easy for you to do everything that you would want to do regularly on site online. So everything that you would want to exhibit or execute on site can actually be done online with the help of Microsoft 365. And also, I said, yeah, Microsoft 365 was developed by Microsoft to boost productivity of employees and individuals. The service are available globally. Okay, so this is just me talking about it being available everywhere. You can get it everywhere. It's not restricted to somebody. It's not restricted only to the what would I call it, to the CEOs, to the owners of companies. No, it is available for anybody. Depends on the package or the subscription or the part of product you are actually looking for. So they are the ones that are available for small scales, for medium scales, and for big scales, large scales. So Microsoft 365 was not created for one person alone. It was created for every single person and to suit everybody's need. So it is a thing that when you get into or when you start working or using it, it will definitely benefit not you alone, but every other person around you. So it is a combination, like I mentioned when I said Office Suite, it's a combination of Office 365, Windows 10, and Enterprise Mobility Plus Security. Okay, so here I'm just trying to tell you the broadness of Microsoft 365. It is not restricted to just Word document. It's not restricted to just files. It's not restricted to just saving of your MPEG or your JPEG or those various files. I don't know. It covers both your security, it covers both your Windows functionalities as well. Because on Microsoft 365 or on Microsoft 365, you get to know about your Entra, and your Entra goes far into your identities. And under your Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you get to see the different security functions you can use, your Intunes that has to do with your device management and all the properties that you're working with on your company or in your company and with your organization. You can have access to different apps management and a whole lot of stuff when it has to do with Microsoft 365 and its whole package. So, and with the integration of Entra, it makes it even more easier and more fun as well. So, that is what Microsoft 365 combines. And I said Microsoft 365 is a combination of Office 365 with more features. So more features, we have the more features like the Viva, we have the more features like the Power Platform, we have the more features like you have a whole lot of features that are available on this Microsoft 365 package. So there's actually basically nothing you want to do or that you are already doing that you cannot synchronize with Microsoft 365. Not like blowing Microsoft 365 or Microsoft package. I'm not trying to blow their horn so loud, but I will tell you that in the cloud space, Azure stroke Microsoft 365 is standing out a whole lot more than some other packages. I wouldn't want to break down or fall anyone or talk bad about any other package, but I would say Azure is actually standing out 90% higher than or 98% higher than majority of the cloud tools or cloud technologies that I use. So I'll leave it at that. So please, next slide. So now Microsoft 365 apps. What are the Microsoft 365 apps? Like I talked about when I was saying that you have both the Offices, Suite, and other packages. Yeah, you talked about Microsoft Teams. We have the Word. We have the Outlook. We have Exchange. Yeah, a lot of persons ask me this question: what is Outlook and what is Exchange? What is the difference between Exchange and Outlook? Okay, I'm not supposed to be talking this, but because I'm just more on the preamble, but I'll tell you the major difference is one, it's a house that holds the connection. Meaning Outlook is the housing of Exchange as a service. With Outlook, with Outlook, can you send email? Yeah, you can send email if you are imputing another email services, or it might not actually be Exchange services. It might be different protocols you are using to connect. It might be an IMAP services. It might be a POP service. Depends on the service you're trying to use. It doesn't have to be an Exchange services. Exchange services is the one that has to do with Microsoft. So you for the Exchange, like the Outlook I was talking about, you can actually use it house any email providing or email provider from different email providing services like the Yahoo, like Gmail, and so on and so forth. Depends on the customized top that is being used to create the email services. So for SharePoint, it's I call it more of an intranet for your organization. It's something that has been created to make collaboration seamless within your organization. It's something that you want to design to the part that it helps pass the messages to everyone you want in your organization. So you can actually use the guest users or external users can also have somehow access to your SharePoint site. If you want to go down into the SharePoint site, and documents that have been shared can actually go around the organization. You can give them different access, like the read, the view, the edit, or download permission. So that has to do with your Outlook. On the Teams is what we're using currently. Teams is one of the due to my rating, I would say Teams is one of the best thing Microsoft has done, or Microsoft 365 is all about. I would say Teams is one of the best, and though complicated and complex for those that are real Teams engineers. So Team is actually very complex, but it's one of the sweetest. By complex, I'm talking about if you want to go more into the engineering part, or if you want to go more into the technical support part. Teams is one of the complex because you have to know the tools, you have to know the collaborations, you have to know the things you can actually infuse with Teams. Teams accepts a lot of what's the word? It accepts a lot of collaborations. It accepts a lot of installation of third-party apps. So it's something that you can actually use for calls, for your meetings, for your presentations, for stuff like this. And when it comes to the duration, it doesn't time you out like some other communication site behaves. I would not want to call names as well. So some gets to 20 minutes or 1 hour and it backs you up. So that does not happen with Teams, except you are setting up your account to be like that, or you're setting up the organization as a settings for that or a restriction for that. But on the default level, it doesn't give you that. Teams is something you can enjoy, and right now with the different installation, you can actually use Teams as your default the Teams phone system for your default call. You can actually use your Teams as the same way you use your WhatsApp for those that uses WhatsApp, and for those that are using Val. So you can the same way you use your Val. That's how you can also use the Microsoft Teams. And Microsoft Teams has grown to the point where you can have your auto auto attendant being set up. You can have your call queue being set up. You can have a whole lot of stuff being set up that helps manages your businesses. For those that are being that have different departments like the finance department, the support department, the hiring department, you can actually set up your call queue to suit those informations, and the auto attendant redirects it to the various call centers that you want it to be redirected to. So, well, that is when we're focusing more on Teams, though. So for here, I would that's regarding Teams. I'm not seeing any other thing on the board, though. I'm sorry about that. Easier and more fun. There's something I did today with the installation of Copilot to the browser, because we on the browser right now on Microsoft browser, which is route. It makes it more easy to get
Hi, Dayo. I think it's a network issue. Hi, Dayo. You're muted.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh my goodness. So sorry about all this disconnection. I'm actually from a station. I'm not at home, so my Saturdays, you know how my Saturdays is, and I just finished from. This is sorry everyone. I finished from a quarry, Hessa, so I'm actually just using the church connection. So I'm not at home. Else it would have been better. And we all are aware about the fiber optic issues with MTN and its brothers. So please, I apologize for the break transmission. But I'm almost home though. I'm almost home. I'm driving right now. So I just left the premises so I can drive home and connect. But I'll do my best to continue as I'm driving as well because I'm plugged up to the system so you can hear me better. Um I apologize again. So can I continue? Is it possible?
Yes, you can, please.
All right, okay.
Can you still
Thank you
see the
guys.
screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen. Benefits of adopting cloud services.
Yes.
All right. So for some guys that I do mentor, I'll tell them that yeah, it's good to want to know how to unplug your router using your cable switch, going through your IPv6, IPv4 connection, and getting to know your host panel, getting to know the different connectors or connectivities when you are working with working on site. But why would you want to choose or adopt cloud services? Now we already know that Microsoft 365 is a cloud service. Why am I choosing it, and why is it necessary, and why is it useful? Okay, so here we wrote flexibility, we wrote save costs, and please, you should all know this for fact, and that Microsoft 365 it is a software as a service package, meaning it is a software that is already been designed and arranged with all it will need, and as a software as a service package, it is something that you barely have to do a lot of complexity in your word, in your end. It's something you don't have to stress yourself too much because all the breakdown and maintenance will be done from the software provider, which is Microsoft. It is something that saved you costs from calling an engineer or someone to come and help you check all the different CPUs you've connected, all your workstations, all the what will I call it? There's a name we call it. Forgotten. Um, when you have a data center, yes, it saves you from setting up a data center, setting up different stops. So Microsoft being a software as a service, Microsoft 365 being a software as a service, saves you your time, saves you cost, and the security and protection. It is set to standard. By setting to standard, I mean the for us majorly in Africa and Nigeria, we would say this, we would all come to the fact or acceptance of this statement. But if it's not correct, please, guys, you can correct me. I'm not trying to bring down Nigeria by saying this word I'm about to say. I'm just saying it based on experience and based on what I've seen. We can all tell that security in online security in Africa or Nigeria, it's not 100% strong or not that efficient. But Microsoft 365 is being built not just to cater for the security strength of Nigeria alone, meaning it is being set to standard. By standard, I mean the best security country you can ever think of in the world is the model that the system is being built to align or to correspond or work with. So you should be 100% sure that your security is 100% and your data is protected. That's data protection and the innovation. So suggestions, there's something we call Microsoft, where you can actually suggest and tell what you think Microsoft should impute, Microsoft should add, Microsoft should edit, or Microsoft should work on. So you can actually do that, and Microsoft innovates. They love innovation. I think we are one of the first, if not the first, cloud um, 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 providers who has created Copilot. I think we created Copilot, and it has been so awesome since the advancement of AI. So Microsoft Copilot or has made the stuff so easy and sweet since AI came into existence. So it's making even the business you're doing